The Facebook algorithm has been removing content that is deemed to be racist or offensive. Not even the U.S. Declaration of Independence has escaped the crusade against hate speech. Check out this not so frequently quoted grievance against the British Empire back in 1776 that was recently removed from the site.
He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions.
No one thought twice about phrases like merciless Indian savages back in 1776, but nowadays it's not exactly considered to be polite vocabulary. However, Facebook sent an apology to the newspaper that posted it and overturned its ban, so perhaps it's now okay.
It's a little bit too abrasive, I feel like, for a public forum.
You can't go out and talk like that to people, but I think you can say your own opinion. That's why we have freedom of speech.
You need to change some languages. Even the message might be the same.
I'm all about freedom of speech, so if it's there and people don't want to read it, they don't have to.
You know where that comes from?
Where?
That's from the Declaration of Independence.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, amazing.
I feel like we've evolved from a place, as far as a society, of how we think about each other and our backgrounds from when the Declaration was written. Maybe if it were rewritten in today's language, it'd be a little bit more neutral.
Facebook incident fits a pretty common trend in recent U.S. politics. Americans just aren't sure how to deal with their own history. In 2011, congressional Republicans made a big show of reading the U.S. Constitution aloud. However, they had to remove some key passages that were a little offensive. You know, things like African Americans constituting 3/5 of a human being. Statues of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson are now being desecrated because, let's not forget, they owned slaves. Now, statues of Christopher Columbus, who slaughtered Native Americans, are facing a similar rebuke.
George Washington was a slave owner. I don't care if it's a George Washington statue or a Thomas Jefferson statue or a Robert E. Lee statue. They all need to come down.
Thomas Jefferson had slaves.
And I would repeat that the public should not be paying to uphold somebody who has had that kind of background.
It shows the absurdity of speech codes altogether. This whole idea that words are violence, and that's just a false construct. I think it's always okay to question your history, but what the problem where we get off the rails, as we like to say, is when you try to apply today's standards to yesterday's standards and try to protect people from words. If the words call for violence, direct violence, we ban those. If the words are just offensive, leave it alone. Let free speech reign.